Hi, this is Katie here, and I was just listening to a recording of an interview of a new person that has come on the scene, and I'm not really going to go into names, that was giving his version of what Elenin is all about, the earth changes that we're going through, Nibiru, and various other things. And one of the things that was mentioned by this person is something that I have now come across several times, so I'm going to go into it because I think it's important, and I may be wrong, so for you to ponder. But basically, a lot of people in lightworker circles and not, but this is coming more from the spiritual circles front than from the info warrior front, are basically saying that it is not possible for human beings, not possible nor desirable for human beings to halt the earth changes that are going to be coming, or to try to soothe them in any way, or to interfere or intervene in any way with the process that is about to happen. And I just wanted to say that as a planetary energy worker, I have been called by my councils regularly for the past 15 years to intervene in various aspects of the planetary energy, from the planetary collective consciousness to the planetary earth energies themselves. And there is a correlation between the two, because the planet is the host for the collective consciousness of humanity at the moment, and various other consciousnesses that are on the planet right now. So there is a relationship between the planet and the consciousness that is on the planet. So we as human beings, okay, so let's make a distinction here. Not all human beings are the same, because not all have the same soul history and soul origins. So let's say that in the human population, even if we all have the same human bodysuit, we're not necessarily all from the same place. There are many souls at the moment that are here that are very old souls, that are coming in with a lot of knowledge. They're coming in with a lot of energetic firepower that is mostly about the connection that they have to their higher aspects and to the councils that work with them on the higher dimensions. Now, does this make them better, worse? No, not. There's nothing of that sort going on. It's not some souls are better than others, but it's like some souls have different job descriptions than others. And some of these souls with higher consciousness, voltage, firepower, have incarnated here on purpose at this time to help the earth plane and the inhabitants of the earth plane at this particular time to traverse through this period, to prepare for it, to traverse through it, and then to rebuild once we're on the other side of it. And as such, these souls, on occasion, will facilitate changes and will intervene in various ways. But when I say intervene, it's not necessarily them by themselves intervening, but because we live in a free will zone, these souls need to be on the planet so that they can ask for the intervention from the higher dimensions, and so that certain shifts and changes can occur. So basically, there is planetary intervention going on. It does happen through energy worker souls that are working at the level of the planet, and it is absolutely possible to make shifts and changes that are in alignment with divine will, because these requests are always made in alignment with divine will. If they're not, then that is somebody that's actually clumsy and doesn't really know what it is that they're doing, and they can cause more damage than they can help. But basically, there are souls that have this job description. They have the job description of shifting collective and planetary energies. And part of this job description is about shifting aspects of the collective consciousness. Things that I get called out to do very often are clearing out interfering energies from the astral plane, both fourth dimension that are up to no good. I'm also often called to counteract things that our little dark friends are doing on the planet that are not good. But I have also been called in several times to help diffuse energies that are coming out of the earth that can create various kinds of damaging quake activity and all the rest of it. Now, having said that, there is some truth to the fact that if it's somebody's time to go, they are going to go, and that not everybody is supposed to stay and live through the changes that we're about to go through. And that is not because they're bad, it's just some people have a soul contract that says, I'm going to go through these earth changes, and some have a soul contract that says that they're going to be for the long haul, and they're going to be participant in the reconstruction of the earth plane. And by reconstruction, I don't mean that the earth plane is going to be destroyed, but what I mean is that the world as we know it is going to cease to be, and we are going to, in time, create a new world. And so there's a lot of souls that are here for the long haul that also have the templates for the world to be. And in 1999, when I was shown the vision of how the world was going to be, I was told within that vision that I was part of the souls that were going to be here for the reconstruction. That's actually the first time I ever heard about the fact that there was going to be any kind of quote-unquote ascension process, although what the New Age people see as ascension is not necessarily what I would call ascension. I see ascension as a change of phase. I don't see us going anywhere. I don't see our bodies becoming anything strange, although we are shifting even at the physical level. But we're not going anywhere. We're just literally bumping up a level in frequency, not because we are doing that, but because the whole planet is doing it, and the whole solar system is doing it. And as a result of this shift up in consciousness, our bodies are also going to bump up a level. Basically, the idea here is we're not powerless. Everything is happening as it's supposed to. The only thing that I don't see happening exactly as supposed to is there are lots of people within the light worker force that either have become too love and light passive and don't want to acknowledge the dark side exists in any shape or form, and have a very passive approach to everything, so they have kind of forgotten about the fact they've been brainwashed into forgetting the fact that they're actually here to work the energy, shift consciousness, and do all of those things. And some of them have been neutralized. They've been neutralized in various ways, of various kinds of belief systems. And I have actually been told by my beings to not really try to reach these people anymore, because they have kind of been sidetracked and they're not really listening. But there are still large amounts of awake souls that do have a lot of firepower, and they just need to be reminded of that. And so I suppose this little entry is about reminding people that they can intervene in all sorts of ways. The most important thing when we're making interventions that go beyond our own life and that affect other souls is that we have to put in a ton of clauses. Unless you can actually see what it is that you're doing and you have a personal connection with planetary councils, that is what I do, and so I've kind of moved beyond that stage. But if you are at the stage where you're just starting into doing certain things, where you're asking for intervention for more than just yourself, then to remember to ask for things only in alignment with divine will, only in alignment with the higher self of everybody involved, and only in alignment with the various soul contracts that souls have. So, for example, if there is an earthquake in Los Angeles and all of the people that live there have a soul contract that they are going to go through this earthquake and there's a reason for it, you don't want to mess with that. And so what you do is that you ask for intervention that is carried out only to the degree that is in alignment with the highest good of all, with the divine will for what is going to happen here on the earth plane, and in alignment with the soul contracts of everybody involved. Okay? In that way, you can ask for intervention for the souls among that group that do not need to go through that experience. Now, one could argue that these souls will have that help and support anyway, but there's no harm in asking for that, because at the moment we're not just dealing with earth changes, we're also dealing with a high level of negative energy intervention that is coming from the so-called friendly opposition. So if we do our part of the energy work, if it's not supposed to happen, if you ask for it correctly, your intervention will not go through, and you will not have created any interference with the divine plan and with the soul contracts of those souls. And if instead the event that is going through is a result of various kinds of things, amongst which dark energy intervention, then you will manage to balance things out. And so not everybody has to do this kind of thing, but there are souls out there that have this kind of contract, and if they do, it is important that they are not neutralized by people that are saying that there is absolutely A, not possible to intervene at the planetary level, B, that the Earth just has to go through her thing and go through her changes, which is true and not true at the same time. It's more complex than that. It's not a black and white thing. Some Earth changes are good, some Earth changes are bad. We are going through a shift. We can't avoid the shift, but we can maneuver that shift so that there is still a humanity on the planet by the time the shift is ended. It is not the purpose of this shift to get rid of all of the humans on the planet. Not at all. Okay? And so part of the reason which there are certain souls on the planet right now that help with that is to giving the opportunity for the human consciousness to continue to inhabit this plane and then reseed and rebuild at the end. And when I say reseed and rebuild, don't get all freaked out that there's going to be nobody left on the planet. It's not going to be as cataclysmic as some people are talking about, but it is going to loss and reshuffling, and when we go through that loss and reshuffling, to understand that a lot of this is by choice of the souls. Not every soul is wants to go through the whole process. Some are leaving early. Okay? Alright. So that will be it for now, and until the next time.